A couple comes on the scene as the film starts. They are driving somewhere. They stop at a gas station, so they fill their car tank with fuel. Their coming journey may be prolonged. A car begins to follow their car as they move ahead after filling the fuel in their car. It was appearing as someone is detecting them. The male observes it in the couple driving ahead. Another car appears before couple's car, leaving it behind. If the couple did not take the turn, then they face a fatal accident, crashing with this car. So they turn their car aside from the road. So their car is turned upside down. Consequently, they both are wounded badly. No one knows why that man did it. Then that man gets off from his car. He moves away while dragging the lady of the couple with him. He brings that girl with him on the Frosty Hill station, and there is little cabin amid those mountains. He ties that girl, reaching there. He begins to torment that girl. Then he cuts off her limbs. In the next scene, that man's face is seen, as that man is eating the flesh of that girl. It means that man was not stable. He was rather a cannibal who eats the flesh of humans. The more mysterious fact is that he only eats the flesh of females. Now that man's causal life is shown. As being a trailer, he leads his life like the stable humans, but he is turned into brutal while eating. He kills the people. He preserved the sliced flesh in the freezer. And he does not eat the flesh in raw form, but he takes it after cooking and making it spicy. The name of this cannibal is Carlos. The rain starts where he used to reside. He is nearly to lock the door of that building, then a new girl arrives there, who had come to stay there. Carlos lifts her luggage and helps her, because she was shifting to the upper floor of the building. Carlos loves this girl, but the sense of his liking is unknown. Is he not liking this girl in this way as he has eaten the flesh of this girl after killing her? Carlos continues to glimpse that girl daily with the passage of time. That girl also begins to feel attraction towards Carlos, but it is soon exposed that it is in the heart of Carlos, that he will eat her after dismembering. But he is also thinking with it that she lives in his building. People will suspect me if she disappears from here. So he continues his work silently as a tailor in the room of this building. And he continues to look at that girl. One day, it is observed that girl is going somewhere, and she is very excited. She directly comes to Carlos and says while handing him over some papers, "These are the pamphlets of my saloon. Can you advertise it? You can stick in the surroundings so customers may visit me." Noticing this, in the beginning, Carlos does not agree, but he agrees later, so he may develop a rapport with that girl. Carlos sticks those pamphlets. There was still the same story in the mind of Carlos, that he will preserve the flesh of that girl after slicing her up. Otherwise, his preserved meal had not finished till now. It means that he had the dire appetite for the female's flesh. In the next scene, he is shown with another woman. He hears the voices of the same girl on one night when he working. He begins to overlook her, thinking what is his matter. After a time, that girl herself reaches at his doorstep. Carlos has to unlock the door reluctantly. That girl says to him, "I have to contact police." Carlos asks her why. What happened? She declares, "I just need the help of police." Carlos says, "I apologize, I cannot contact. I dislike police." He is saying as such because if police arrive here and the officers opened his freezer by mistake, his secret will be revealed before everyone. That girl says to him, "Oh, do you not offer a glass of water to the arrived guests? Kindly give me a glass of water." Then Carlos goes to kitchen to take water, but that girl also comes after him, and she opens the refrigerator by herself. She notices that there is a large quantity of meat. It had been preserved after packing, so it was not revealing to her that it belongs to the human being. But she surprises that, how much meat do this man take? It is not liked by Carlos, that someone has interfered in his personal life. Carlos was very furious on it. He says to that girl, "You may go away." That girl says, being surprised, "Okay, I leave, but I have come here to ask help, because you have also heard the screaming from my apartment. It was fact that I was being mistreated. I just needed you as an observer. I don't come again. I am leaving." Carlos calls her from the backside, "Okay, stop. Listen to me. The police had to be called here, so why do we not visit the police station together?" That girl says, "It is very good idea." Now they both move to police station together, but the site of police station is not seen. It remains secret where they both had gone together. Did Carlos not kill her? Now the story starts after a time. Carlos is seen who is very frustrated. His door is knocked. There is that girl's sister as he opens the door, because she was asking from everyone in the building, as she has no information about her sister. Did someone view her? So Carlos lets her go while saying, "No, I have also no information about her." Then Carlos offers to that girl, "Come inside and have a seat." Carlos begins to interrogate her as that girl comes inside. "What was the job of your sister? And from where do you belong?" He is saying as such because police officers may not suspect him. Where did that girl miss even though he knew that girl? So her sister starts to tell him everything. that we don't belong to this country. There was going on some clashes between us. I had also visited her apartment at that night when she missed. The great dispute held between us. We screamed and shouted. She might feel bad and she left the house. Here it is known that there was going on quarrel of that girl with someone who was her sister. Afterwards, that girl starts to leave. Carlos says to her, "Stop. My friend is in police department." I attempt to ask him the help. Then he makes a hoax call, and he shows as he is talking with his friend police officer, as that girl has been abducted. So search for her. So that girl's sister feels little consolation on these words. So she stops searching for her sister for some times. Carlos also wanted the same. That girl's sister moves downstairs, gratifying him. Then Carlos notices that a man has visited that floor in the apartment of that girl. He leaves after knocking the door and no one opens the door. During these days, Carlos receives an order from the church to make ready a costly cloth sheet. Carlos is engaged in that work, and he says to that girl's sister, "Inform me if anything is required to you." That girl's sister is also taking him right man, and she begins to stay with him. Carlos also started to look at that girl. Next morning, that girl again visits him. She says, "Many days are passing. My sister is lost and we cannot sit idle. I will have to call the police." Carlos says, "I have talked with my friend. He will approach within some days." But that girl's sister does not agree, so they again visit to the police station. They register the report of being missing, going there. But how did the police search for her? She was in the stomach of Carlos. Got it. Here it had cleared that Carlos had eaten her, slicing her up. It means that man was unreliable. When they are returning back, that girl's sister tells, "We had to send all money to our parents that my sister earned." And the reason of the dispute was this at that night, because she did not want to dispatch the money to the parents, as she has earned the money. Money is not being found from the time she left. Carlos says to her, "Don't worry. Take money from me which is required for you." That girl says to him, "Why are you being soft-hearted? What is the benefit behind it?" Carlos tells, "I am generous. Don't be upset. I will help until it is required." Next day, Carlos notices that building's owner has visited in the apartment of that girl, who is asking the rent of the apartment from her. Carlos rebukes him, "Are you not witnessing in which condition she is right now? Go away now." And he helps that girl with this. He awards her money. Later, that girl says to him, coming to his house, "Carlos, I am feeling awkward as you are helping me too much, but I am not helping you in return. So come to the dinner at night. You daily cook food for yourself. I cook something for you tonight." Carlos says, "No, I like to spend time at my house." That girl asks him, "Are you friendless? Do you always be alone?" He tells, "Yeah, always. I am easier as such." That girl says to him, "Don't embarrass me. You have helped me a lot, so there is an idea. I have a saloon, so I have the skill of massage. Just visit. I will give you a perfect massage." Carlos goes there, but he returns soon, because he is feeling appetite, and his preserved meat was gradually finishing. So he had kept an eye on a girl who used to be with her spouse. One day, he notices that they both have gone for a bath on seashore, and they have parked their car at a side. So Carlos follows them and he begins to reverse their car, getting in it. So that man thinks as he is perhaps stealing their car. So he moves towards it. But it was the mistake of that man as he came before the car at this time. So Carlos kills him while crashing his car with him without any thought. His wife starts to cry as she witnesses it. Carlos starts to move towards that girl, but she is very panicked, and she is crying, as she has known, seeing the face of Carlos, that he is wicked man. She remains in the area of water. Carlos does also not move there. In this way, that girl is drowned into the water. Carlos becomes aggressive on himself. He found this girl hardly and she also died, and he lost her. That girl's sister comes to him as he reaches home, and she says, "Carlos, I have received the call from the police station. They have got a dead body. They are revealing she is of the same age as my sister was. Come with me immediately. I want to see it." So Carlos accompanies her. Even he knows the fact that it may not her sister, because he had eaten her. They move that place. When the face of that girl is revealed, so it is the same girl who died last night, drowning into the sea. Due to this, Carlos observes after sometimes that girl's apartment door is in damaged condition. Someone tried to open the door forcefully. He asks that girl, moving inside, "What happened with you?" That girl is crying bitterly. She tells, "There was my sister's male friend who used to take money from her. Now he has arrived to ask money from me. He is blaming me when I did not hand him over the money. You have killed your sister for the sake of money. He will complain to police. Tell me, can I do as such?" Carlos says to her, "Not at all. I know that you are searching for your sister devotedly. Just do it as come to my house. You need some rest." After this, he begins to take care of that girl. He says to her on a day, "There is my cabin in the frosty mountains. That is a lovely place. Come, I just take you for the recreation." He along with that girl moves to that cabin situated in those frosty mountains. They wander the whole day while enjoying. When they return to the cabin as the night falls, so Carlos makes her unconscious here, pouring some drug in her drink. He is going to dismember her, but he does not do. In the same way, the dawn breaks. That girl is not getting as what happened with her. How did she knock out last night? She asks about it to Carlos, so Carlos tells her the whole reality. Because Carlos' thought was changing. Now he was not in favor to kill any girl. He also tells her, the killer of your sister is not anyone else but me. And I am a cannibal. I had no control over me, so I have eaten the flesh of your sister. And I had also brought you here for this cause, but I don't know what happened with me last night. I was going to eat you last night after dismembering you, but I could not do it. I may have started to like you. You have changed me. That girl says, being panicked, no Carlos. You are telling a lie with me. Say that you are kidding. Carlos says, no, I am not kidding. That girl says, I want to leave this place. Bring the car and take me away. Carlos does the same because he had started to have affections for that girl. He wanted to carry out her orders, so he brings out the car and they drive for returning back. Where that girl feels something wary, she is full of wrath due to the death of her sister. That she turns the steering wheel of car. The car is crashed upside down, and that girl herself dies. Carlos sits beside her dead body and starts weeping, getting off the car. It is true that he had begun to like that girl. His heart had started to develop affections. It indicated that he had changed to a large extent. It was enough punishment for him as his beloved died due to his own fault. The end. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Bye.